Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another video on the SciOly Stats YouTube channel. Now, I know what you're thinking, Brett, why is this not your Nationals video? And that's a very good question. Um, and I don't really have a good answer for it, honestly. The honest answer is I really just don't feel like making the Nationals video right now. The rules just came out today, and I want to do that. Rest assured, I will have a Nationals video out before I make any videos about the upcoming season. So you will get a Nationals video. Don't worry, Seven Lakes. I know. Okay, I'm gonna talk about you guys. You guys did awesome. I'll say that right now. Okay, just be a little bit. Just hold your patience tight while you wait for for the even longer for the video. But today is a very exciting day because the rules for Division C this coming season just came out, and I am here recording my live reaction to the rules. I have not looked at any of these. I know what some of the events are. But yeah, I haven't looked at any of these. And before I really get into this, I'm going to say right now I will not be looking at every single event. So if I don't look at your favorite event or I don't talk about your favorite event, I'm sorry. But first of all, there's just not that much time. I only have 30 minutes to record this, so I got to get going too. And also, I am not an expert in every single event. It would do you no good for me to look at anatomy or disease detectives or whatever other events are in here. Yeah, like rocks and minerals. I know nothing about rocks and minerals. It's a binder event. That's all I can say. Robot tour. I know nothing about it. So yeah, I'm going to be looking at events that I am most familiar with. Those are going to include water quality. They'll include entomology. I'll take a look at this entomology list and see if I recognize any changes. I'll look at dynamic planet as well. I think this theme is new. Correct me if I'm wrong. I might take a look at designer genes. We'll see how much time we have. Yeah, so let's kick things off. And the first thing I notice is that there is not a write it, do it event. I forget they replaced it with engineering CAD. That's right. I might take a quick look at that, even though I don't really know too much about it. But let's kick things off with what I was most excited for, which is water quality. So we got to scroll all the way down here to 63 to take a look at water quality. And I do apologize again. I will be reading a lot of this stuff out because what else am I going to fill this video with? Me just sitting here while I read and then saying, saying stuff about it once I'm finished. No, I'm going to read this out. So I know you guys can read, but I'm going to read along here. So, water quality, here we go. Participants will be assessed on their understanding and evaluation of freshwater aquatic environments. Yeah, that's pretty obvious. Let's see here. Event parameters. Each team may bring writing utensils. I don't remember them. I'm not surprised that they're allowed to bring writing utensils. That's not what I'm surprised about. What I'm surprised is that they note in here that you're allowed to do that. Like that was kind of just a given, and I don't remember them writing this stipulation into any of the other rules. That's interesting. I wonder why they decided to officially include that this year. Each team may bring 2 Class 2 calculators. I assume those are just, actually have one sitting here. This was the one I used when I was in water quality and green generation. That was completely unplanned. It's just sitting on my desk. I assume that is what Class 2 is. And yeah, the note sheet, of course. From any source, the sheet of paper may be laminated. Maybe this was a stipulation on my team for a little bit. Some people interpreted this as, and some event supervisors as well, interpret this as like it has to be laminated. No, it just says maybe. You don't have to laminate it. Or placed inside a sheet protector to increase durability. Fixed labels as well as multiple sheets of paper are prohibited. So I interpret this affixed labels to mean you cannot write on the note sheet. I'm sure a lot of you guys know this. I'm going to actually stop boring you guys and get into the stuff. One more thing, though, up here. Salinometer, hydrometer. Yep, okay. That was in the event when I did this. So let's get into the actual interesting stuff. The competition. This may include analysis, interpretation, or use of charts, graphs, and sample data. Supervisors are expected to utilize freshwater scenarios. I really, really like that they put that in the rules. Freshwater, these are case studies that the supervisors are um, required to, I mean, they're expected to use case studies, which is one of my favorite parts about water quality because it's so easy and so fun to make case studies for tests. um, so they're expected to utilize freshwater scenarios and have students analyze and evaluate comparative macroinvertebrate and water quality data. Perfect, 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 perfect. That's what I was really I'm actually, I don't remember this little blurb being written in the rules when I did the event. Effectively, most tests worked out like this, but it wasn't explicitly written in the rules. I love it. That's great. Process skills may include wait, equipment use, collecting and interpreting data, measuring, analyzing data, and making inferences. Wait, are we allowed to like? Hold on. Okay, so I'm are we allowed to have like a piece of equipment in the room and participants come up one by one and they show us how to use it, and then we evaluate how well they did and give them a score based on that? That would be kind of hard to implement into a test, or like if it's a station. I assume this can be run as stations. I guess I didn't read that part. Did it say up here? I don't think so. God, I'm going to spend all my time on water quality, huh? I'm going to have to title this video "Reacting to Water Quality um, Rules." I really I want to get to some more events, but that's interesting. If you can do that, that's how I interpret this. Process skills may include equipment use, collecting and interpreting data. Again, not really feasible to have students go out and collect data, but you can definitely have them interpret it. Measuring, you can give them like a little like cup of pH stable water or something like that, and ask them to use a pH meter maybe. Analyzing data, making inferences. Yeah, okay, let's get to this stuff. Freshwater ecology. This section will use multiple choice, matching, fill in the blank, and or short answer questions in areas such as aquatic ecology, water cycle, nutrient cycling, aquatic chemistry, and its implications for life, potable water treatment, wastewater treatment. When I did the event, these were my least favorite parts of the event, but it's now that I'm like actually, in college and studying water quality semi-professionally, this makes sense to include. Aquatic food chains and food webs, community interactions, population dynamics, watershed, resource management issues, sediment pollution, and harmful species. So that's interesting. Harmful species, like this sort of stuff was in like section 3. Well, okay, section 3 is water monitoring. Never mind. So this makes sense. So I love this part. This was in Green Generation. This is awesome. Understand and apply the concepts of indigenous knowledge or traditional ecological knowledge to given scenarios. That's awesome. That's is the bold part, is that only for Division C? I think, because then below it says life history strategies are only for states and nationals, which I think that's kind of a cop out, because R&K selected strategies, that's easy. Come on, man. You should be able to do that at regionals and regional level invitationals. Those things are easy. Succession as well. That's pretty easy, at least from my standpoint. These other things require a little bit more advanced skill set. But anyway, freshwater macroinvertebrates. This section will require participants to identify common name only, no scientific names, unfortunately, or fortunately if you're a competitor. Immature and adult macroinvertebrates. So basically, all of the things down here, if they have a larval form, you need to multiply the things you have to know how to ID by 2, because often their larval form is going to look quite different from the adult form. And aquatic nuisance organisms listed below to understand their importance as indicators of water and wetland quality. So interesting, they're throwing in wetlands as well. Love it. Are expected to know the general ecology. So here we go. General ecology, life cycles, and feeding habits of all the listed organisms. This is going to take up a lot of space on note sheets. This is typically something like for binder events, you're expected to know all this stuff about all of the animals you're supposed to identify. This I can foresee taking up a lot of space on people's note sheets. So pollution sensitive mayfly, caddisfly, stonefly. In the biz, we call these E, P's, and T's. Dobson fly, gill snail, water penny, riffle beetle, aquatic scorpion, water scorpion. Sorry. Um, yeah, that seems pretty similar. Aquatic sowbug, damselfly, dragonfly, scuds, craneflies for moderately sensitive. Aquatic sowbugs, these I think these are just isopods. I'm pretty sure. Um, I wouldn't really call them moderately sensitive. Like we find them in not the best environments, but I don't know. What do I know? Moderately tolerant, water mite, water mite, midge, black fly, flatworm, leeches. I do, now that I know a little bit more about entomology and aquatic entomology specifically, I take a little bit of problem with this term midge. There are two families of midges. There's biting midges and non-biting midges, and their larvae have a wide variety of forms they can take. So I'd really rather them specify what kind of midge. The rest of this looks okay, though. Um, Pollution tolerant organisms, air breathing snail, deer horsefly, tubifex worm, I think, and the blood midge. This, I think, is a type of non biting midge, so just midge might be interesting. Did they have mosquitoes on here? I didn't see mosquitoes under here. Okay, here's mosquito. Oh, air breathing. Okay. Oh, right. Duh. Because, okay, I'm stupid. I literally did my whole summer research on mosquitoes and I forgot that the mosquito larvae breathe air. Whirligig beetle, water strider, mosquito, giant water bug, back swimmer, water boatman, predaceous diving beetle. Yep, all those are, I think, the exact same organisms from when I did the event all those years ago, like 2019. Crazy. Aquatic nuisance, purple loose strife, Eurasian water milfoil, water, I can never pronounce this, hyacinth. Yeah, sure. Zebra mussel, those are a big problem here where I'm going to college around Lake Raystown. Spiny water flea, Asian tiger mosquito, we definitely have those. Asian carp and crayfish crawdads. Okay. Um, well, okay, so it depends on what kind of crayfish. I assume they're talking about in here in the eastern United States, we have the rusty crayfish, which might be invasive more out west as well, but they're a big problem here in the east. I assume that's really what they're talking about here. We do have native crayfish species, so it's really important to make that distinction. And when you're out in the field and you find a crayfish, most of the time it's going to be a rusty, but sometimes it's a native species, and you want to be able to tell the difference to make sure you don't, accidentally kill a native crayfish, which are already struggling enough as it is with the rusties invading. All right. Part 3, water monitoring and analysis. This is always my favorite part. Participants should be able to understand and interpret data related to testing procedures. I love this. This seems they really honed in on the analysis of this event. Like that's what I loved about it when I did it, and writing stuff for it was making people use the application of knowledge, not just what is pH, what is a pH of 4 more acidic than a pH of 3, how much times more acidic is it, like all that stuff, the random stuff. No, you give them a pH reading and say, okay, what does this mean for this? Or what does this mean for scuds or for caddisflies? Or would we expect to find flatworms in this environment? Like, that's the kind of stuff I love about this event. And I love it. I love that they baked that into this event this time. And it wasn't just kind of like I mean, it was pretty obvious to like do it last time, but I don't remember it being this like ingrained, explicitly written in the rules. I love it. Okay, for purposes for collecting data relating to salinity, pH, phosphates, turbidity, no comma, dissolved oxygen. Turbidity, dissolved oxygen isn't a thing. It's turbidity, then dissolved oxygen. Temperature, in case anyone's confused by that. Temperature, nitrates, fecal coliform, total solids, biochemical oxygen demand, and their relationship to one another. Love it. Okay, so here we go. No physical laboratory tests will be performed on these topics by participants. So I guess that kind of answers my question from earlier about this. So I guess this is just like in the test, I can ask, how would you use this piece of equipment? I can't actually make them do it. Um, that's a little disappointing, but I definitely understand why they did it that way. Salinometer testing: teams must build, calibrate, and bring and demonstrate a salinometer hydrometer capable of measuring salt water. Most likely NaCl concentrations between 1 and 10%. Yep, exactly the same as when I did it. There are no restrictions on size except that the team must build a device that operates within a 400 to 600 milliliter beaker. Oh, excuse me. Okay, teams will be expected to estimate the percentage salinity measured by their device to the nearest tenth of a percent. Full credit will be given plus or minus 1% at regionals and 0.5 at states and nationals. Calibration solutions may or may not be provided by the event supervisor. Okay, interesting. Um, yeah, high score wins. All this good stuff. All right. Um, Yeah, not too much else to say about it. I love that they included this. I love that for Green Generation. Um, it's great. Um, yeah, not too much else to say about this, honestly. I love it. It looks great. I can't wait to start writing tests for it. Oh, this looks awesome. I'm so excited for this. Okay, we might as well look. Oh, this is the rocks and minerals. I was going to look at the entomology list and see if I notice anything particular. Oh, I do remember one grievance I had with the entomology list last time was that they did not require people to know the larval forms of mayflies, caddisflies, and stoneflies. Or maybe it was just caddisflies, but it definitely wasn't like mayflies and stoneflies that they had to know the larval form of. And I was like, well, those are like the most important larvae to know. And in water quality, you're going to find out why. They're really good indicator species. So I was really disappointed that they didn't. We'll see if they fixed that this year. Um, so all specimens will be representatives of insects found in the contiguous United States. Lovely. Feel bad for the Hawaiians and Alaskans among us who may have different insect fauna. Orders or families marked with an asterisk require participants to be able to recognize larvae or nymphs. Okay, so look for that asterisk. Designated in italics are only to be used at the state and national level. Okay. The taxonomic scheme is based on the... Okay. So larvae for mayflies, dragonflies, all of the dragonfly families. Looks awesome. Termites. They're not expected to know termites and roaches until it's like states and national. Or wait. What's the bold mean? Oh, is the bold the changes? Oh, it might be the changes. Okay. Wait, so now I'm confused. Were they not required to know roaches last year? All right, whatever. Let's see. Yes! Oh, they got stoneflies. You got to know stonefly larvae this time. All right, what about mayflies? We got to know. We got to know. Where are the mayflies? Show me the mayflies. Megaloptera, okay, Dobson flies. Antlions. Am I stupid? Did I miss the mayflies? Usually, oh, here we go. They're right here. Yes, mayflies as well. Yes, we won. This is a win. This is an absolute win. Oh, this is great. Oh, I love it. I love it already. Riffle beetles, water pennies, lovely. Did they add these specifically for the bold means they added it, right? Or am I crazy? I might be crazy. I think for walking sticks they did just have just the order walking stick. Now you need to know this family as well. Yeah, I think they added these. Again, they put water quality in. So yeah, if you're in water quality, I would highly recommend. They better not have made these two events conflict. That would be evil if they did. But I'll check that in a minute after I'm done going over this. But yeah, if you're in water quality or if you're in entomology, get on the other event, man. There's a lot of crossover there, I promise. You will not regret it. You might actually if you hate beetles, but otherwise you won't regret it. Okay, firefly larvae, darkling beetle larvae. Flat bar, I don't know what that is. Yes, I don't know every insect on Earth. Hoverfly larvae, that's cool. Worked with some of those this summer. That's fun. Mosquitoes, so just mosquitoes, not the specific genuses or species. That's probably for the best. You need to look at very specific structures to be able to know that for mosquitoes. So here we go. This is what I was talking about with the midges. So this Coranomiddae. There we go. Added one too many syllables there. This is the non-biting midge family. There is another family of midges that it doesn't look like it's requiring you to know. They are true flies, but they're the biting midge families. They're Ceratopagonidae, I think is how you say it. Yeah, so there are two different types of midges. It annoys me a little more than it should that they didn't specify non-biting midges, but this is the non-biting midge family. So anything else here? Anything else to note? Butterflies. Butterflies and moths are not something I'm very familiar with. Here we go. Wait, okay, this is weird. They put in just ticks for non-insect arthropods. I feel like if you're gonna do that, you either need to commit to it or not do it at all. Like put some spiders in here, put some scorpions. Why stop at ticks, dude? Like, yeah, ticks are really important. They're very important vectors of disease, especially in Pennsylvania where Lyme's disease is crazy. But yeah, I don't know why they stopped at ticks. I guess because they wanted more insects. But again, then just don't include arthropods at all, or not arthropods. Don't include non-insect arthropods at all. Insects are arthropods. Yeah, just don't include arthropods in the event entomology. Duh. Okay, we'll read through this. This is going to be, I'm going to read the bold sections. I think those are the changes. Students may be asked to use or formulate a simple dichotomous key to identify insects. That's cool. I think that was for forestry as well when that was a thing. Okay. So for each specimen, they're asked to, so these are all the random things you need to know about each specimen. Economic characteristics and systematics. That's awesome because insect, I mean, it's awesome for test writers, but for test takers, that could be a bit of a nightmare. Insects, systematics, and nomenclature, and yeah, that's kind of a mess, honestly. Well, at least it's a mess at like the genus and species level. If you're only going down to family and order, it might not be that bad. So for specimen, so this is state and national only. For specimen, students may be asked questions that pertain to management. That's cool. Such questions. So I guess that might be part of the reason they included ticks is because they included this little thing down here because tick management, again, that's a big part of that's a big thing in Pennsylvania right now. Yeah, pretty standard, I'd say. Oh, here's engineering CAD. Yeah, okay. This is I am not a physics person. This is the reason that I don't touch these events. Let's just read the description here and see what I think. Teams will read a short set of engineering drawings and collaborate to CAD parts in Onshape. I assume that's a software of some kind. And then incorporate these parts with provided components to create an assembly. Okay. Yeah, you engineering people, you have fun with that. I'm not gonna touch that one. Nor will I touch any of these build events. Designer genes I'll look at and see if I... Dynamic Planet, duh. We'll look at Dynamic Planet here. The topic changed, right? I'm pretty sure the topic changed. Yep, physical and geological oceanography. No worries there. Each team may bring a binder. It's a binder event. Awesome. Okay. And again, our class 2 calculators. All right, let's get into it here. Yeah, we got 6 minutes left. Seawater's properties, distributions, and processes afflicting them. Temperature, salinity, pressure, and density, other properties. Oh, before I forget, I'm going to check to make sure what events conflict. Because again, if you can do water quality, dynamic planet, and entomology, that's your event slate right there. These events have so much in common. well, maybe not DP and entomology, but water quality like links the two. Let's see here. Oh no. Oh, goodness me. Here we go. All right. So dynamic planet is 4150. No, they made DP and water quality conflict? Oh, why'd they do that? Entomology. Okay, at least entomology and water quality don't conflict. So you can choose DP or water quality. Oh, that sucks. Come on, man. Hopefully next year when water quality is marine, they won't do that. Oh, that really sucks. Well, I feel your pain. I think it was ninth grade that, right, I was in density lab, and I think density lab conflicted with water quality or something. And I was like freaking out. I was like, oh my God, one of my events, it conflicts. You'll manage, you'll find a way. All right. Temperature, salinity, effect on water cycle, thermocline. Love thermoclines. I'll probably ask about that in water quality tests. Take notes if you plan on taking any of my water quality tests. Pressure and density, other properties, nutrient concentration. Okay, yeah. So this is epic. I love it. This is basically just water quality. All right. Surface circulation, warm and cool currents, Coriolis effect, surface convergence, divergence. I actually forget what that is. Again, Western intensification. I don't know what that is. Ekman transport, I vaguely remember. Eddies, I kind of remember. All right. Thermohaline circulation, that's really, really important, especially with climate change as a concern. I assume they're going to talk about climate change later here. Global ocean energy transport, water masses and fronts, deep water formation. I don't know what that means, but yeah, what does like how deep water forms? It gets cold and then sinks down. Okay, interesting choice of words there. Waves, wave types, wave interactions with coast. That's interesting. I remember like wave types and like the properties and like parts of a wave and stuff. I don't remember this part though. That's interesting. Tides, diurnal, semi-diurnal, mixed. Spring neap tides. Don't know what renaissance means. Is that resonance? That's not renaissance. Resonance. I'm not sure what that means in this case. Tidal currents. Okay. Coastal features and processes. Estuaries. Coastal erosions. Depositional landforms. Awesome. Coral reefs. Awesome. Longshore rip currents. Coastal upwellings and downwellings. That's awesome. Ocean geography, tectonic processes in ocean basins, seafloor spreading, associated evidence. That's cool. I forget most of the story, but there is a story with how we discovered continental drift with relation to seafloor spreading. So make sure you guys know that. I imagine that's something that you'll be quizzed on. If it's not, I'm sorry for wasting your time researching it. Ocean floor features, right? Ridges, seamounts, trenches, oceanic sediment. Oh, that's so cool. I love sediments. Yeah, here we go. Climate variability and change. Atmospheric ocean variability limited to El Nino Southern Oscillation, not La Nina. Unless that's what this is. Is that another name for this? I don't think I've ever heard this one or this one. I don't know. Ocean climate change effects. Got to keep an eye on my time. I have like a minute left. Sea level rise, thermal expansion. Yeah, a lot of people think sea level rise is due mainly to ice melting. It is not. It's thermal expansion that's the main cause. Ice melting certainly contributes, though. Coastal flooding, acidification, deoxygenation. There we go. Tools, and I'm not sure what any of that means. That's all physics stuff. Yeah. Looks awesome. Oh man, I'm so excited for water quality after reading this though. Those water quality rules were hype. Leave a comment if you're hyped for water quality. Drop a like, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff. Yeah, with that, I think we've reached the end of the video. Again, I promise I will have the nationals review Maybe not analysis, but I'll at least review. I'll give the teams credit that deserve it. I already kind of did that for Seven Lakes. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.